Tighty, tighty, tie. It is St. Patrick's Day here in the Protect You studio. Triple J is decorated in green. Welcome on in, folks, to another episode of the Protect You podcast. Jay, I'm excited to celebrate the holiday as always. I always love reasons to celebrate, reasons to get festive, wherever that may be. But not only that, Jay, not only is it St. Patrick's Day, but it's one of my favorite times of the year because March Madness is right around the corner as well. So many reasons to be excited as a sports fan and as a person in general.
No, it's my favorite time of the year. I mean, just we just got done with the conference tournaments, and now March Madness is here, ready for those one shining moments. It's gonna be interesting to see too, right? Because this will be, I feel, the first full year of where NIL, I think, is going to kind of take place. We saw a little bit kind of like SEC with Vandy, right? Vandy's had their best sports year ever in all sports, right? And that's due to the NIL. So it's going to be interesting to see, right? You know, now that that talent is spread out and like the Caliperis of the world can't stop how 13 All-Americans, right, and taught them into coming in. But I'm excited, man. Excited. I mean, you know, me being a very gracious boss, I should say, right? I mean, allowing the team to have a half a day on Friday, right? We'll get to watch the first round. Kind of told myself I was going to always do that when I own my own company.
You said you were going to take it up with your boss when you had your own company.
And
getting some time off to watch March Madness.
Well, and for 10 years, I've been my own boss, and yet I have not allowed Jay Mickens, the employee. I work for a crappy boss, Jake. I have never taken off, and so still hadn't got my full wish of taking the full Thursday and the full Friday, y'all. But hey, baby steps.
There you go.
Baby steps. So we're going to have fun. I don't know how many people will show up. I know you and Chase will be there for sure.
Absolutely.
I've already got the food ready to roll out, and we'll heat the pool up and have some fun and watch March Madness.
Sounds perfect, man. Sounds perfect. And I'm very excited not only to get forward into that, but a lot of the things that have been coming down the tracks here for Protection United. We got a jam-packed show coming to y'all. We got commitments coming down, even more offers for our guys in the near future here. We also have another interview that we're going to be getting into deeper into here. And then a special surprise that those of y'all who have been watching this and may have noticed the thumbnail, we have a new face joining Protect You as well. But we'll get into that all in due time. As first off, Jay, we gotta, I feel like, show a lot of love to our guys and show a lot of love to not just the 2026 class, as we have been for the past several months now, of getting them in the studio for interviews, getting them over Zoom for interviews, and then showing off their graphics. But when they do make those jumps and they do make those commitments to the next level, it does feel very justified that we sort of cap off the journey, as it were.
No, I agree. And, you know, what more of a perfect time, right, to be in basketball season and to talk about, you know, our next guy that's up, because we got a commitment, right? You know, we have taken pride in the fact that since our 24 class all the way up through, that every young man as well as young ladies that we represented here, we've all helped them find a home.
That we have.
Right. You know, and that's something that you want to take pride in, right? Not to take anything away from these athletes, because we're going to always keep the main thing. Their talent is what's getting them there. However, we know that the promotion behind it and the things that we're doing here at Protection United just kind of helps elevate. And this next guy, Jackson Day, gets to talk about where he's going to. Computer Jesus, if you don't mind putting that graphic up for us and showing where he's going.
Yes, Jackson Day, the basketball member of the Protect You crew, commits to the University of St. Thomas. Jay, I'm very excited for this one because we talk about your flagship athletes, those pillar athletes that really set the trend for where things are going to be in the very near future. Basketball is probably as cutthroat as it gets for guys trying to get to the Division I and the collegiate levels. And so to see that we're batting 1,000 already with Jackson Day is a really promising sign.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Samara Coleman's the first lady. I think Jackson Day would be the first man, right? In regards to, you know, the basketball division. You know, definitely excited to get that rolling. And let's just say there'll be some other things that come down the pipeline here as we continue to build that department. But, you know, just so happy for Jackson. I mean, you know, good friends with the Days. You know, Eric's my guy, and fantasy football guy too, Jake. I'm going to try to get you in. I'm waiting for somebody to drop out of this fantasy league so I can get you in. You're going to love these groups, live draft, just great guys. And, Eric and my other buddy, Jared Moore was nice enough to bring me in. But, Jackson's just a great young man, right? Kid that was at Willis High School, went to Woodlands Christian, kind of wanted to play a little bit with his AAU guys, but he got to show his full game, right?
Yes.
I mean, him being a true wing, the length, being able to pull up mid-range jumper. He kind of reminds me a little bit, I don't know if I'm showing my age here, but kind of like what Dunleavy was at Duke. I don't know if you remember when he was there with like Jason Williams and Chris Duhon and that crew, Shane Battier. Just kind of like that, right? From the way he plays the game.
Yes.
Right. And can play man. The man can play zone. And like I said, I mean, has post game, can shoot the 3-ball. And dude, he's explosive, man. I've seen him go 1-2 dribble and yoke that thing on cats.
I loved watching his highlight reel because it's like you talked about, a very versatile skill set, which in basketball, I feel like more than any other sport, you have to be versatile.
Right.
Regardless
100%.
of if you're that point guard bringing the ball down the court or if you're the guy in the post, you're going to need to do a lot of different things. And Jackson Day embodies that, I feel like, to a T.
No, I agree. And I can't wait to get him into the studio to kind of talk about his journey. Because once again, I mean, I love hearing these young men's stories, right? Because everybody thinks it's just so easy. Like, yeah, he's 6'5", and they think, life is great and it's easy. No, there's a lot of 6'5" dudes out there. And, Jackson picking this school, I can't wait to hear why he chose it. And I can't wait to hear about the excitement, right? Of him knowing I finally got a home, right? He's about to graduate here in a couple of months. And didn't know, right? But, excited to have him in and can't wait to talk to him about it before he heads to St. Thomas.
Absolutely. And Jackson Day was not the only Protect You crew member who made his commitment over the most recent weeks. We are, of course, talking about Tavis Coleman. Coleman family continues to roll deep here in Protection United and show off their athletic prowess as Tavis made his commitment to McNeese State. Very excited for him because we're talking a lot about the momentum that comes on from the offers and comes on from what it's like to really pick up an offer and try and field and see what everyone else is looking like. Tavis, he knew what he was about, and he said, McNeese is the place for me.
Yeah, and I love McNeese State, too. I mean, I think that's a good pick for him. Of course, Tavis has another year left of high school ball as a 27 grad. But once again, I mean, this is just kind of once where we talk about the Protect You Trinity, right? Where you got the main thing, the talent. Right, what we do here, Protection United, and then as our guy Chase King so eloquently always talks about, right, having those good parents that understand. I mean, and big shout out to Sam and Deanna Coleman because they recognize we got twins. However, one's a quarterback, and you need to be committed somewhere. You got to find your home, right? If you're going into your senior year without a home, a lot of times those coaches are already moved on because it's only one quarterback per class. McNeese State showed mad love to our guy Tavis, and I'm just gonna say selfishly, Jake, I like Lake Charles. I mean, look, I'm a fan of the Golden Nugget, right? Computer, you can bring it back to the studio. I want people to understand because I know our guys at McNeese State's watching because it seems like that every time we offer or we sign up somebody, McNeese State is like, hey, let's go off them, right? Tavis is now numbered, I believe, 10, right, of guys that we represent here. But I'm just excited for Tavis. I'm excited for the journey for him. But most importantly, if I got a chance to go to the Golden Nugget, go play some golf, and then get to watch my guy throw that thing around the yard, that's not a bad work trip, right, guys?
No, definitely well worth our time. Well worth our time to get out there, have a little bit of leisure while we're out there, but then also
Ike. We got our dude Ike.
We got Ike. We got Kenyatta out there.
Yeah. I mean, we got dudes, but the thing I like about Ike is that, that gives Tavis a potential huge weapon, right, from that tight end position. And but I'm happy for him.
Yes.
Really happy for Tavis, and cannot wait to see what he does here in his next upcoming senior year.
Yes, very happy for those commitments. We have one other commitment that we're going to get later on in the show as we open our doors once more. Yeah, we are.
We got another commitment?
That we do, Jay.
What?
That we do.
Wait, breaking news even from me?
say we have a commitment and we have the interview that we got to get to later on in the show, where we get an exclusive scoop into what that journey was like for one of our Protect You crew members. But we open our doors once more to welcome back in Chase King. Chase, again, thank you for taking the time to join us.
Absolutely fired up to be here.
Yes,
man. I can tell you seem to be very excited, Chase. Every Tuesday now, How does it feel for you every Tuesday now? Like, is it getting better and better where you're like, man, I'm ready, I'm pumped for this podcast?
Better and better, but I wouldn't say pumped. You still got the butterflies, still rehearsing about 3 hours before we get on the set. But
Hey, understandable.
But no, it's
man.
getting easier.
Understandable, man. But at least whenever we're talking about the things we talk about, the repetition of it all definitely brings a little bit of comfort because, Jay, we move now into the offers that the Protect You crew continues to stack up. I had to go back and check our scripts just to see how many episodes, how many weeks now has it been that we've been mentioning offers for our Protect You crew members.
I believe I had you do that, right, Jake?
That's correct.
I don't think that just came out of thin air. I was like, Jake, how many weeks? Because every time we do the pre-show, I'm like, dog, can I finally check this off our list? Because y'all know I'm a big check off the list guy. Y'all see, you see my planner over there. I'm old school. I still work on my calendar with the shared notes. I want stuff checked off my list.
This one
and every time you keep telling me, Jay, we can't do it.
Refuses to go away. Refuses to go away. And I think we're very happy that it refuses to go away. This is a very happy thing that we're glad to continue to stick around with, as this makes 8 straight episodes, 8 straight weeks that Protect You crew members continue to stack up offers. We are going on almost over 2 months now of consecutive weeks of Protect You crew members.
Let's go.
That's big time.
That's big time. I mean, and that's just our 27 and 28 class, right?
Yep.
I mean, we do got a big 27 class. Have y'all counted those guys we read?
Oh, yeah.
It's like 32.
30, yeah.
It's like 32 guys, bro. And still adding.
And they some dogs.
Being an Easter Junior. I'm just going to throw that out there.
There's the counter.
Yeah. Benny, make it 33. Let's go from Magic to Bird.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey,
absolutely.
Bird. Benny could be 33 today on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, there you go.
There it is. The Celtics.
There you go.
Maybe that's the magic number.
Maybe.
I'm going to call Mr. Easter. I think they're at Ole Miss right now. Should I interrupt their visit and tell them that?
Let them know.
Let them know?
Yeah, I'll let them know.
Yeah, ring them up just to see. But we continue on here as the Protect You crew members continue to stack up offers. And some of these names you may have heard once or twice during this very segment. But a dog is a dog, and a dog is going to get offers. As we move into the 2028 class, first and foremost, our guy Dylan Mitchell continues to light the world on fire. He's already picked up so many offers, and he may have picked up another one to put a little jewel inside of the crown, as he picked up none other than the Crimson Tide of Alabama. Very happy to see that offer coming in yesterday. Very excited to see what that opportunity might present for Dylan should he decide to go down that route.
I will say too, Jake, that I mean, we just saw something come on our feed on ESPN about another receiver that might not be on the team anymore. So maybe Dylan can take that spot.
Absolutely. Bama, they're going to have to wait another year, but I think it would be well worth the wait should Dylan decide to bring his talents to Tuscaloosa. And I think Madison might be a little happy of that as well. We might have some Protect You staff that might be happy to hear that announcement made. But we'll keep it in SEC country and inside of the class of 2028, as none other than Jay Storm Knight, the big man, picked up a re-offer from the University of Arkansas. There it is, folks. We're very excited to see that one, Jay Storm, as he makes his shift over to Cornerstone there in San Antonio. Excited to see what that opportunity may present for him moving forward. But we'll travel a little bit up north to cover our guy and see what Bryson Dossett has been up to, as he picked up 2 Big Ten offers, starting off with Purdue and the Boilermakers trying to throw their hat in the ring for this incredibly talented Ridge Point athlete. Just so great at what he does. And Northwestern also said, you know what, let's throw our hat in the ring and try and sway him our direction. That now makes it 16 Division I offers for Bryson Dossett.
Big Ten country, baby.
And we'll stay up north as well in that Big Ten country, as Jalen Kilo also picked up a Big Ten offer, this time from Wisconsin. Big time move there for the Badgers, trying to secure the defensive side of the ball. Excited to see what that might look like for Jalen. And then we'll move south just a little bit to the great state of Missouri, as Missouri State also sent an offer his direction.
And you can tell Missouri State really wants him. Look at that logo size. I mean, that's a big logo. I think they're letting them know, like, hey, man, we might not have a chance, but we're going to try.
Say, it's worth the shot. It's worth the shot. Shoot a shot, man. Shoot a shot.
That's right, man.
And speaking of, Joshua Vilmel continues to rack up offers as well. Some big-time D1 offers have come his way, but we still like to entertain. We still like to see that offer sheet continue to grow in size, as none other than UConn and the Huskies have sent an offer his direction, and we'll stay on that same track as well, as Missouri State also offered Joshua Vilmel. And Jay, you mentioned the size of the graphics.
Yeah.
I may have to pull out a microscope to get a good look at that one.
I know. I agree. Like the Owen offer in the header is bigger than the bear head. Not really sure what's going on there, but yeah.
Hey, we're excited to see it. I'm sure Missouri State is also excited to see that Joshua posting about him, showing a little bit of love their direction as well. And then we keep it going here on the defensive side of the ball for the 2027 class. As Kingston Bayer also picked up 2 more offers to add to his repertoire, as he added Army and the Black Knights, trying to build up the brotherhood. There's some very strong prestige coming in there from that Army program, trying to sway Kingston Bayer their direction. And we'll keep it in the military theme as well, as the Rockets of Toledo also shot an offer Kingston's way. Very excited to see those offers continue to build up for our big guy in the defensive front, Kingston Bayer. We shift over now to the offensive side of the ball, and once again, we'll keep it air-themed. We'll keep it military-themed, as Air Force shot Jake Sneed an offer, making it now 16 total for him. Congratulations to Jake Sneed on the Air Force offer.
He's not too tall to get into the jet.
To get into the cockpit? I don't know. They may have to specially build one just to get Jake Sneed in there.
Dude, he's got plenty of room in the grow place. He might be like 6'8" when it's all said and done. You ever seen a 6'8" dude fly a fighter jet?
Never.
I can't say that I have. I know Tom Cruise was significantly small when he was getting into those
Tom
jets
Cruise could be
for Top Gun.
Hey, he could be a jockey too. So Tom Cruise fit in. I just think Jake would have to have his legs outside the plane.
Yeah.
Just to stretch him out. I don't know.
But on top of the Air Force offer, Toledo also shot an offer Jake Sneed's way. Very excited to see what those opportunities and what that decision process is going to look like for Jake here in the near future. And then last, but certainly not least, returning it to the Coleman family. They refuse to leave our sides here at Protection United, as Bryce Coleman was recently evaluated as a 3-star by Dave Campbell's and our guy, Greg Powers, one of the highest rated tight ends in the state of Texas. Very excited for Bryce and what those opportunities are going to look like as he nears in on his senior season.
Yeah, bro. And once again, this is just more credit to the Coleman family. I promise, guys, they're not paying me for this, right? I mean, I'm just giving props because they truly understand and get, and they're following the model. Sam knew if Bryce stayed at receiver, he would be just another receiver, right? In a long line of tons of receivers. By him telling Bryce, hey, let's move you over to tight end, what did he do? He created a freaking mix match, right? What outside linebacker can guard him? Right. You know, I mean, and then you got a safety there that might come downhill depending on the set they're doing defensively. I mean, Bryce is going to be one of the top tight ends in the nation when it's all said and done. This kid recruitment is about to blow up. And I'm calling it right now. I'm calling my shot. This dude will be one of the top tight ends in the nation when it's all said and done. Mark my words.
I firmly believe it. And you talk too about the evolution of the tight end position, how it's become a lot more of the receiving threat. But Bryce also has that firm framed where if he needs a block, he can absolutely get that job done. And we're very excited for that. As
Jake's like, yeah, sounds good.
Sounds good. Sounds about right. Sounds about right, man. But Chase, there's a reason why we bring you on to these segments, not only to break down what these offers are going to look like and how well these players are going to fit into these positions, but also to roll out the red carpet, as we say here, for the newest members of the Protect You crew. And we start off with a guy that we're very excited to welcome on in. We've been rolling deep in Tomball, and this is a guy that we met at the Battle 7-on-7, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, that's right.
Very excited to talk a little bit here about our guy, Chance Green, athlete. We got him listed as a safety here, but this guy gets it done on both sides of the ball. A true athlete out of the class of 2027 in the Tomball Cougars. Chase, I toss it over to you to break down what we're looking at here on his film.
Yeah, extremely fired up to have Chance Green a part of the crew. You're going to see here Chance's football instincts. He's going to come down from that backside safety position, physical, throws his shoulder in there and gets a big-time turnover, on the goal line. Just a big-time play here by Chance. Here we're going to see his versatility on the receiver side of the ball, the offensive side of the ball, makes the guy miss, and then takes it 45 yards for, a house call. again, that versatility of Chance being able to play both sides is huge. And then here you're going to see Chance's, ability to get off the block, use his hands, and disrupt this quarterback's throwing motion.
Ooh, I like
Another
that
big physical
nastiness.
play. You're going to see it again and again throughout this tape of Chance's physicality. Here we're going to see his coverage ability. This receiver does a nice little out route. Quarterback were to throw this, it'd be another house call just on the defensive side of the ball. Here, like I was talking about the physicality, Chance is fearless, willing to come down and support in that run support.
Hey, and right there, he's going against Klein Collins.
100%, 100%. Here again, I just can't say how big enough it is that Chance, knows his role, being able to come downhill and support his defense in the run game. But what really, what really caught me and my team's eye with Chance is the intangibles, or the tangibles. Obviously his physicality, his speed, his athleticism. But what's really gonna, catch these coaches' eyes and hone in, for Chance, is the intangibles. He has the the mentality, the physicality to come downhill, and those are some things you just can't teach from that safety position. And just really fired up to work with Chance. It's going to be a big camp season for him, but also more importantly, him to showcase his talents in the fall.
Yeah, and it's very important too that we talk a little bit about how good it is that he has those intangible assets, because he's going up against some really solid offenses in that district, and he's going to be going up against a lot of really talented guys in this 2027 class. We transition over to the offensive side of the ball as Duke Stevens joins us as the newest member of the Protect You crew, running back out of College Park High School, incredibly successful during his most recent year. And as that first team All-13 6A selection, he continues to build up hype as he moves into his senior season, Chase.
Yeah, another exciting player here. Duke, just an all-around back. You're going to see here Duke's patience. He's going to wait, and then take what the defense gives him, and then it's just a foot race with him and that safety, and you're not going to catch Duke many times on the field. As you see here, kind of lets up a little bit, but finishes through the end zone and gets that big-time touchdown.
And you talk to, he's built a little bit like a power back, but how important is it that he's still able to show off that speed with his build?
100%. Here you're going to see his vision, great jump cut, and then again, just off to the races. We got, Jermaine Bishop here. It's going to be the only one to potentially catch him, but again, Duke just wills his way into that end zone. Again, great example of Duke's vision, patience, and then just his athleticism taking over here, just hurdling the guy for another touchdown in that end zone.
The good people.
and then when in doubt, just hand it to Agent Zero. He's gonna make that first cut, put his foot in the dirt, get north and south,
Oh, no.
and then it's just another 60-yard race, 60-yard run for Duke Stevens right here. And again, just give it to Agent Zero. This safety is going to try his hardest, but poor kid just doesn't have the speed or durability to catch Duke. Really love Duke's holistic approach here. That's what me and my team kind of fell in love with, was that he has the physicality and durability to be that third down back, but also has that elusiveness and twitch to make that guy miss and be your first and second down back as well. But really what ultimately brings Duke, together and what the college coaches are going to fall in love with is Duke's mentality, how he attacks his craft at that running back position. Just really fired up for not only this camp season, but for this fall for Duke, so that the rest of the nation can kind of take notice.
I got you.
Absolutely. And with how rock solid that College Park offense was too, it's going to be exciting to see how they utilize him.
Yeah.
With how loaded that offensive line was, how good the skill positions were. It's going to be interesting to see what role Duke is going to fit into.
Well, I was going to say too, and he's got to go through some changes, right?
Mm-hmm.
He lost his head coach, lost his offensive coordinator, Chase. And then they had, a monster offensive line, but, a lot of those guys graduated. So like the next guy's up, but where do you think, and from expectations, like can Duke, because he might have to be a poor man's Barry Sanders out there this year. Do you think that he can carry that load as a senior this year?
Absolutely. I think he's built for it. Like I said, he's that holistic all around back. He can be that first and second down guy, but has the physicality to be that third down guy. I think it's really just going to, this year's going to be a test in the sense of all the changes, but it's also going to, be able to elevate, and show Duke's true potential, making him that Barry Sanders type back like you were discussing.
All right.
Love it, Chase. Love it. And thank you once again for coming in and breaking down not only the offers, but also rolling out the red carpet for the newest members of the Protect You crew. Your expertise is always welcome here.
Chase Kuiper in the building. You look good today too, bro. You got the polo on, then the pullover.
Had to match your swag.
I like it. I like it, man. Hey, You dressing for the show. I like it.
Got to.
Good stuff all around, man. Thank you once again, Chase, for coming on and lending your expertise here as we welcome in the newest members of the Protect You crew. And we transition over now to another interview that we were very fortunate to get going here with none other than David Brewer IV. Brew, our guy out of Fort Bend, Travis. Chase, you've lent a little bit of your expertise in terms of what his journey was looking like. Came to us late, came to us essentially after the season had already been completed, but we were still able to work with him, try and gear his journey to where he's going to be successful. Some of those bigger offers, they may look enticing initially, but if you're not going to be playing, you're not going to be putting good film out there, then in some cases that could be hurting you a lot more than it will be helping you in terms of where you want to go in your collegiate journey. And so we were very fortunate to sit down and get a little bit of the mindset of David Brewer IV. So, folks, welcome on into another interview here on the Protect You podcast with none other than our guy. We've been rolling deep in Fort Bend, Travis, and this is one of the big ones, David Brewer IV. Brew, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with us.
Thank you, guys.
Oh man, awesome, Brew. Man, so glad that you're here to join us, man. And as you know, we've been trying to get this set up, man. But you've been a busy man, my friend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Awesome. Go ahead, Jay.
Saying you told me too that this was a very sudden thing of we had everything scheduled out, we had it good to go, and then you're like, sorry, man, my coach just asked me yesterday that he wanted me to be a part of this track meet. So it's a very odd circumstances, but I heard you still did pretty well.
Yes. We got into coming second in our heat. Ran a pretty good time. All of our handles were clean. So
yeah.
Oh well.
Man, so
you can really ask for it.
Exactly. So, like Bruce, so I mean, we've all gone through it, right? Of having our last ride. Talk to us about, that feeling of knowing, like, although your football career is not over, your high school career is. Talk to us about how your senior year was for you, and just the feeling that you're going through of it just being over.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, it was just a blessing for it all to happen. From week one, I knew it was like, okay, this is my last shot, my last hoorah with my guys. Honestly, I think I couldn't have much of a better season than how I ended. I broke a record, obviously, Parker Washington's record.
Yeah.
My guys came down, beat Hightower for the first time in who knows how long. It was honestly pretty fun though, playing against a lot of top teams throughout the journey. And it was just, I was very glad to be a part of it.
And you talked about how just tough the competition was all throughout your district. I mean, from top to bottom, it seemed like every single week y'all were going to have to go up against a team that was loaded with potential talent and guys that were going to make it to the collegiate level. From your perspective, how good did it feel to still, regardless of who you were playing against, to get out there and produce at such a high level week in and week out?
Mm-hmm. It felt very good. It felt like a lot of my work was actually paying off finally. Because prior years we felt like we couldn't get the job done. We were like a few passes away from being what we could have been, and what we knew we were. But I feel like this year we really showed it.
Oh, that's great, man. And then, Brew, like, take us to like some of your like favorite moments, right? Just in your whole career, high school career. That kind of walk us through, like, either if it was a situation or a certain scenario, or if it was just a big play that you made.
Mm-hmm. So I'll throw back to my sophomore year. I'll have two good memories. My first one was my first varsity game. I scored the game-winning touchdown.
Okay.
We really need to score, and I ended up scoring against Spring. I don't remember what the lead was, but yes, and it was just like a surreal moment for me. I was like, it was crazy.
And was that your first touchdown ever?
Yeah, it was my second touchdown.
Okay.
But it was my longest, first 50-plus yard touchdown. It was crazy.
Okay, so that's memory number one. So what's memory number two?
My second memory was probably scoring that bubble screen against Hightower my sophomore year, breaking like 4 or 5 tackles, and then end up getting posted on the news, and then that going on like a little poll for like 5 weeks, going really deep into it. So it was really really cool to see that.
Yeah. It's funny how you say that, your sophomore year was like the year of the season, but that was the year that you arrived, right? So I
Yes.
guess junior year, senior year is more because of it was expected
Hmm.
for you to kind of ball out. So it just
Yeah.
kind of came like second nature to you.
Yes.
Oh, so if there's a leaving memory that you would love to leave in regards of your high school teammates, your high school, like what memory would you want people to remember Brew of?
Remember me as in like things that I've done.
Yeah, just kind of like your legacy, because obviously everybody wants to make sure their name is never forgotten.
Yes.
Right, we know you're in the record books, so they can read it, right? But
Yes.
just kind of, like of your presence, like kind of just talk to us about that.
I was gone by this model from my dad that got it from somebody in his family. But the quote was, "If you know better, do better." And that quote stuck with me. Like ever since I was in 8th grade, I was like, yes, if I know better, then I should do better. And that's what I did. I applied that to the football field when I worked out before and after doing the extra things. Because I knew that if I did the extra stuff, it would come back to me.
Right.
So
Right.
that's one thing. And then also sticking with my commitment, sticking to grinding, um, not shying away from competition, and just like really binding to myself and my teammates.
No, I love that, bro. And we're looking at a situation too where, I mean, like you guys have put Fort Bend Travis on the map, right?
Yes.
I mean, Josiah Villamil, Davis Kenny,
Hmm.
right? And then now y'all leaving it to the young bucks, right? You got
Yes.
Joshua Miller, right? Baby bro. But
Yes.
also, right, the next number one receiver in Ethan Williams.
Yes.
What kind of leadership and what kind of like I would say qualities did you think that you instilled in him to help
Hmm.
Ethan kind of now take over
Hmm.
the reins of not only being the guy on the field, but now having to be that leader
Hmm.
in the wide receiver room?
Yes. Yes. I feel like what he took away from me was the leadership role and being more communicative. I felt like he has really taken on a lot. Obviously, obviously, me being the receiver that I was, it was kind of like, why is he getting so much? Why am I not getting involved with this? But I feel like he's not going to understand. He's going to take in he's what he's learned from me. I feel like he's going to be a heck of a receiver coming into next season. I'm really ready to watch him play, watch him
Yeah,
work.
I like that, man. Yeah, and even though you're leaving, at least you left him a nice partying gift in the form of his quarterback, Trace Baker. So
Yes, yes.
he's gonna have his guy, right?
Hmm.
Still being able to sling it, and I know it's got to be a great feeling for you to know that you have left your high school in a better spot than
Hmm.
obviously before you got there.
Hmm. Yes.
And I mean, you've already talked a little bit about that family aspect that you had as well. Of your dad has been incredibly involved. I think that Fort Bend Travis parent group is maybe
Yes,
the most
yes.
devoted that I've ever seen. Always active on the sidelines. But can you
Yes.
tell us just a little bit and give us a little bit of insight of what were the emotions like when you finally did make your commitment to Blinn and you completed that
Hmm.
final closing of the door, as it were, on your high school career as you carry over now to the collegiate level?
Hmm. So whenever I told my family about my commitment, they were very supportive. They were all happy and excited. They were throwing parties and everything. uh, but honestly, they love my decision. And they want to support me and also attend as much games as they wanted as they could. So I'm really happy for that.
Yeah, no, man, and that's the cool thing about it. Everybody's journey is different, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that you chose this route, and I applaud you for it, right? I mean, you had a good number of other options, but basically telling yourself like, hey, let me go this route.
Hmm.
Although the law has not been passed, it seems to be the where it's getting closer and closer to where you lose eligibility for
Yeah.
playing JUCO ball. But then you go to a school that's close by, right?
Hmm.
And you have a couple of Protect You crew members, right?
Yeah.
There, one in a Michael Mesquite that's going to be the starting center, but you also have Jack Emerson, right, which is the QB. Have you had a chance to talk to Jack at all, or have y'all connected any?
Actually, on the visit that I had, I got to meet him. He was just working out. I walked in. I think he was leaving the gym, and we just had a conversation and like clicked. We swapped, exchanged Instagrams, and we've just been communicating ever since. I was like, I told him, I was like, yeah, one spring, we got to come up there, start throw some passes, get an early connection going.
Oh, that's great, man, and that's what we love to see and hear. You know, two hardworking young men that wants it, right? You know, and you know that's what we do here, right? You know,
yes.
Protection United, we're the people that connect the people to the people, baby. So, but no, seriously, man, excited for you, so happy, cannot wait to watch you ball out, and you know, can't wait, you know, to watch, you know, Jack, you know, throw that first moon ball to you for your first collegiate touchdown catch.
Yes.
Yeah, bro, we're incredibly excited for what these next steps are going to be. And one last question before we wrap this whole thing up is coaches are always talking about what are the separating factors and what are the things that really make you unique. And we obviously like to have a little bit of fun here on the Protect You podcast. But from your perspective, what do you feel like is something that is so special or so unique about you that next to nobody else knows that this is what David Brewer is all about?
I want to point out my leadership and how I can take in coaching. A lot of guys want to do things their way, and it doesn't really work out sometimes for them. But I feel like the way I take in coaching and the way I can give off feedback from that coaching is a lot more than the other people don't really do. On the football side of it, I feel like not a lot of people can get to where they need to be like I can, and then be able to catch and run, and I feel like it really like separates myself from a lot of people.
All right, man. All right. No, any hobbies or anything that are really unique about you outside of the game of football?
Hobbies. I mean, I play video games here and there. Watch movies, but not too much. Other than that, it's just really just football and whatever else I got going on.
Hey, staying locked in. I'm sure a coach can really appreciate that.
Yes.
To say, but with that, Brew, and that ends this fantastic interview, man. We greatly appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us and really pick apart what this last ride for high school was and then what this journey is going to look like moving forwards, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, Brew, appreciate you coming on, man.
Thank you.
All right, folks. And with that, we are right back into the studio. Jay, I think one of the better interviews that we've done. I loved talking about the journey, right? Because like we said, going into the interview, Brew was a very unique case where he came to us essentially by the time the postseason had already started, where he knew what offers were on the table, some committable, not all of them committable, but still trying to find the right home and find the right place where he can really show off his talents to the coaches that may have overlooked him.
Yeah, man. And that's, you know, unfortunately, you know, Brew had to see like the ugly side of the college football world, right? You know, this is where the business doesn't always benefit the athlete. I mean, having, you know, 20 offers, right? And things were looking great. And the thing that's so crazy to me is that this young man didn't do anything wrong, right? It's not like that he went and did something stupid on social media or got in trouble or, you know, got caught cheating on a test, like anything to where we can just almost justify like, well, I see that you're in a pool of 50 plus, you know, receivers. They're looking for a reason to take you off the list. He never did anything wrong, right? If anything, he continued to do things the right way. But, you know, he's with us now. You know, we're rocking out with him. You know, I feel Blaine is going to be a great spot, you know, for him. You know, Jack Emerson, right? You know,
Absolutely.
QB that we represent. They've already linked up. You know, I hit Jack up and was like, hey, make sure you guys understand what the game plan is. You throw it to him, Brew, you catch it from him, and then y'all both can go get the hell out of Blinn. And let's go on to the big boy level and continue to live your journeys out. So
yes, a very promising start here and a very promising journey that Brew is going to be taking his self on. We're very excited to see what that's going to look like for him. Very devoted family, very enthusiastic to see what that support system is going to look like for him as he makes his journey in to the Division I ranks. Because we know that's coming.
Oh, yeah.
We know it's coming.
It's coming. We know it's coming. We're going to be right here waiting for it.
And Jay, it's funny that you mentioned Blinn too, because Blinn, out of that Bryan, College Station type area, and we know that we've been rolling deep in a lot of A&M offers coming to some of our Protect You crew members. Dylan Mitchell is the one that immediately comes to mind. He had that sub 10-second 100-meter dash while he was out there dominating in College Station. And we open our doors once more here at Protection United. We continue to grow both in terms of the athletes that we represent, but also the staff that help us make sure that everything runs smoothly, making sure that there aren't any hiccups, because people hate hiccups. I hate hiccups, Jay.
You do.
And so
You hate hiccups?
Yeah, I do. And so I would much rather bring people on that.
But I'll say hiccups also means that you're growing, though.
That is true.
So I like hiccups.
Growing pains means that, sure, you got to get through it right then and there, but there is promise on the other side. There is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
And so we are very excited to welcome on in the newest member of Protection United staff and Protection United's new social media manager, Avery Scamardo, a Texas A&M graduate, bringing her expertise here to the Protect You staff. Avery, thank you so much for not only filling in a very needed position here at Protection United, bringing a lot of the talented stuff here in-house, but also taking the time to welcome yourself to the beautiful folks at home on the Protect You podcast.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to be here. And I think the College Station segue was a great kind of intro to me. So I appreciate that.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that.
And also, Jake gave you unnecessary credit because it's like contractually, she has to be here on the podcast. So I don't know what you're thinking her. Unlike Chase, I learned from Chase. I said, you know what? I got to be fair and let her know, hey, before you take this job, you got to be on a pod.
That is true.
I
You
told
did
you.
let me know that.
I did.
Yep.
She's like, no problem.
Yeah.
Hey, you got that with me. I knew the second I came on, I was like, we're creating the podcast
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do here.
Yeah.
But then we had to essentially, like the analogy of the boiling the frog in the pot of water. We had to do that with Chase, of slowly turning up the heat to where now he is
I didn't know. Is that what they do?
Yes.
Hey, can we replace a frog with a lobster?
I mean, you could just sort of throw a lobster into boiling water and it won't know the difference. But the thing with the frog is you can't start it in boiling hot water because it'll just jump out of the pot. You got to slowly turn up the heat.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Look, I didn't come up with the analogy.
Yeah,
That's
but you
that's
just
the
used
thing.
it, though.
That's just the saying.
Avery, I think.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. I'm glad you're here to monitor. Hey, can we add to your job duties and monitor our social media too? Because if Jay puts some crap out there like that, I need you to be like, Jay, delete this. Get it off right now. Boiling a frog. So you start off with like a warm bath and then turn it up to like a hot tub?
Yes, that's what you do when you. Have you ever had frog legs, Jay?
Mm-mm.
Oh, first off, delicious. You got to
Oh,
try.
let me guess. Tastes like chicken.
A little bit, yes. A little bit, yes. It's sort of rubbery, almost like alligator. If you've ever had alligator,
No, Jake. I'm not interested in having those kind of meats.
we'll get you to a Cajun place that offers alligator at some point.
I've been to
You'll
a
have an
place and
alligator
I will-
pro boy.
I will not. No, you will not get me. Are you buying?
I'm sure.
Oh,
For a new experience.
hey, look at Chase. Chase is like in the green room.
I will buy for you. I'm not buying for Avery. I'm not buying.
I don't
for
want
Computer
any
Jesus.
part of that.
I'm buying for Chase. I will buy for you so you can experience new things. But we're getting sidetracked here, folks. Avery Scamardo, welcome on into the Protect You podcast. Welcome on into the Protect You staff, because you bring a lot of expertise in terms of filling the gaps for what social media has evolved and turned into. We know that the recruiting game has changed. A lot of it is based off of social media. A lot of it is based on virality. What sort of expertise do you feel like you really bring to the table when it comes to whether it's your past experience or your upbringing even? I know that the younger generations and our generation almost is very much involved in the social media sphere. So what do you feel like it is that you fully bring to the table that will be invaluable to Protection United?
Yeah. So to start off, I grew up outside of College Station, 30 miles outside of College Station, super small town. So anytime anybody asks me, I just say, oh, I'm technically from College Station.
And it's funny because even somebody's already
Yes.
mentioned, they saw your last name and they were like, wait, are you the Smartos from?
Yep. So I was going to say, if the last name sounds familiar, that is my family. I have a very large Italian family out of College Station. So still go back there quite often. And there's a lot of us. There is a lot of us. But yeah, that's right. I was going to mention that because somebody already mentioned that. My first day was yesterday, and so it's like I'm already like being recognized a little bit. I don't know if I should be scared
You're
by
big
that,
time.
but I'm big timing it over here.
You are.
Yeah. So from College Station, and I recently just graduated from Texas A&M University, best school in the nation, I would have to say.
Thank
but
you for saying this next to this Longhorn.
yeah,
right
I
here.
see the orange cup too,
Yeah.
guys. Like, what are we doing over here?
That's him.
Yeah.
Eat that
Thank
look.
you. Yeah.
He's a solo act.
Yeah.
Mr. Frog Legs.
Yeah, Mr. Froglegs Alligator. UT fan. Yep.
It's like they said, they keep Austin weird, man.
Yep.
Keep Austin weird.
You keep that on that side of the table.
Yep. agree.
But yeah, so I graduated from A&M in December of 2025. And while I was finishing up my time at Texas A&M, I did work an internship at TexAg. So that's kind of where my social media expertise comes in. Super fortunate enough to have worked there. They were absolutely incredible, still are, still have great connections there. Just a great media company for A&M. They work closely with A&M athletes, any athlete really that you can think of, football, basketball, baseball, volleyball. Of course, got to shout out my girls winning the Natty. That was great. That was an incredible
we
feeling.
followed that.
Yep. I did. I mean, I watched the whole thing. Like, that was just incredible. So we're kind of known, for being, the sports world is, we have a reputation. I just will say that. But our girls solidified it for us. So yeah, so we had all those girls come in, all the guys. And so I have a lot of experience working with athletes, and, they all received NIL. So kind of in that world as well. So just a huge shout out to them. And so just, a variety of sports, a variety of different knowledge coming from them. And like I said, social media interns. So I worked with all the guys and all the girls who came in. We did, quote graphics, and we clipped highlights and talked about all the new faces, which, are high school recruits as well, kind of having a little dabble in both of those worlds with college and high school. So it's been great. So the transition has been easy for me, I would say, just because I'm a sports girl. I grew up loving sports. And so for me, it's just kind of been a nice transition into Protection United.
So tell me this, seeing it from the social media side, tell us from your viewpoint, the importance that you've kind of seen in regards to recruiting, right, and social media, and how those two worlds have kind of collided.
God, it's important. Jay, I think we talked about this in my interview. It's like, I kind of grew up with social media, which is so odd for me because I don't know. It's weird seeing it start from something that was so basic. Like, I remember the OG Instagram app, the little Instagram icon. And seeing it progress, but so quickly. Like, this has been the last 20 years. And so now it's like, it's just an ever-changing, very quickly evolving realm that we're in. And so social media is so important. And I'm not just saying that because I'm the social media. But yeah, it's so important. And I really think, posting things that bring value to other people, but also keeping it real and keeping it genuine and keeping it authentic is just so important. People need to know the real you. Mm-hmm. And in a world that we live in, there's a lot of fakeness. And so coming in and just posting who you are and the stuff that you do in your community and, all the other good stuff, sports and everything is just, it's important. It's really important.
Yeah, and because I think it's really important too, where Jay, you talk about how the media controls the world. We control the narratives, we control what it is, the information that gets out there, and how the story really gets told about our athletes. Mm-hmm. And so, how important do you feel like it is to be able to so seamlessly, I think, control a narrative and control a positive and turn not only that positive into a win, but turn it into a massive success for whichever athlete that may be? Yeah,
I mean, controlling the narrative is huge. You have, these high school athletes, 15 years old. I mean, super young coming in, sometimes, younger or on the brink of that. And then, there's a lot of development, I would say. So, that's such a young age, but, your narrative starts there. And so getting on it early is really important because, you need to take that and really turn it into a positive. So even with college, it's just, there's a lot of things that can be said about you, but if you're the one posting, you're the one doing the content, I think that it's important because you're just posting the positive stuff, and that's what gets people going.
That's all people should care about.
Yeah, that's all people should care about.
No. And now that, you're here, mm-hmm. right, and we talked, right, obviously offline, also did it in your interview. I loved your ideas, right? And you knew that we already kind of had some things in the works internally, but talk to us about, what you and your team, right, now that you're the leader, right, of our social media here at Protection United, talk to us about what your team is going to be rolling out and some of the things that we're going to be offering.
Yeah, so here at Protection United, we have 3 different packages with social media specifically. Starting out is our X for You. So this is me and my team working closely with our athletes to post on Twitter with a custom social media strategy, which is super important. Even getting on Twitter first is in putting your name out there. That's where a lot of our coaches are.
Yeah, I mean, that's the resume builder.
That is your resume builder. So posting anything, training, nutrition, weightlifting, anything like that, that's important. Get your name out there. And then we have our Done With You, which is another huge custom social media strategy package. Another collaboration with my team and I, and this is where we're posting Monday through Friday on 3 different platforms, which is Instagram, TikTok, and X, Twitter. And again, that's huge. Instagram and TikTok are like the rising stars right now. We've seen TikTok kind of take over the world in the last like 6 years.
True.
And so getting your face out there is extremely important. And I always say like TikTok is kind of like the fun side. People like to see personality on TikTok. Instagram is like kind of portfolio, but also a little bit fun. And then you have your Twitter, which is your resume builder. So those things are important, showing your face and also knowing where to cater. You know, you have a specific audience, cater to your audience. And then we have our Done For You package, which is our premier package. And my team and I closely collaborate with Cinco Creative. So shout out Cinco Creative.
Hey, Joel and Robert.
Yes. They're a great team and they help us out so much. So this is a full social media management package with like a full service brand development. So some pretty great social media packages, I might add.
So basically, just so I can understand it, right? So the X for You, that means that somebody can come in and your team is going to take over their X page, aka formerly known as Twitter.
Yes.
And you guys are just doing it all for them, right? Kind of doing all that. And then the Done With You is more of a collab where you're working with the athlete, working with the parents, you know, them getting the video footage, the raw assets, right? And then you and your team are making magic, right? For all 3 platforms, right? And I love how you broke that down with the X is the resume builder, the Instagram is the portfolio, and then the Twitter, and TikTok is what again?
It's fun. It's your personality.
Fun personality, kind of getting put out there. Jake, you know she's going to make us do some TikToks.
Yeah,
I'm just throwing it out. And then, like, as you mentioned, the last one that y'all are rolling out, which is the Done For You, that's just basically saying, hey, you're too busy. We can take it off of your hands and do it all. And that includes also like providing like the camera crew and everything, correct?
Yep. It's full service. So that's a, great opportunity for athletes who kind of want to, either focus on academics or kind of just take a step back and really let somebody kind of be super hands-on with social media and just let them be creative and kind of put their mind to it and very hands-on. So
okay, and you guys are also going to be like engaging with the fans. I know staying away from the negative stuff, but responding to positivity and trying to help grow that, and that's amazing. That's still kind of new to Jake and I. We're kind of more old school, all from the standpoint of recruiting, and just thought, we'll be fine, and the talent rises to the top. If you're good, you'll be seen, and I bought into it a whole lot more. I mean, obviously, with DJ Lagway was really the first one for me, right? When these big national brands were like, we don't care, you just won National Gatorade Player of the Year. We need you to have 100,000 followers on Instagram. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
He's DJ Lagway.
Yeah, I know.
Like, what?
I know.
But it's like true 2 different revenue streams. I think that's what we're starting to recognize, where it was you can make money on the field and off the field, but the way that it's been presented, it seems like that thing now has been to where it's all in the same. But we're seeing, I watched the Money Game, right? The documentary that they follow the LSU guys. And I think the most important part to me was when you saw that the walk-on basketball player averaged 0 minutes, but he was probably averaging about 100 to 200 grand a year because he built his Instagram and his TikTok and created a following. So it's just kind of unique, to see the 2 true revenue streams that these athletes can make.
Yeah, and it's huge. Social media just rules the world, whether you like it or not. And so showing your face and building that following and, having that engagement, it's essential. So
I love it. So what is the most exciting thing that you're excited about being here at Protection United and taking over this new role?
I'm just excited to get in it, get my hands on it. Coming in with experience, it's just I have a lot of knowledge kind of in my belt, but obviously there's room to grow all the time. And so kind of just working with our athletes, our amazing athletes. I've already met quite a few of them. So we've got a good team here at Protection United. So we're rocking and rolling.
I love that. Okay, now before we end the podcast, you told me, you said, all right, Jay, I got something that I want. And this is I'm going to show you how Avery works, man. She's a really good negotiator. I don't know if I need to bring her on the sales side, let her come close some deals with me, because she closed me on. She was like, hey, look, like, I can't be a robot. I got to have fun here, Jay. You got to let me be me, because if I'm me, I can produce greatness, and then we keep our clients happy. I'm like, okay. She goes, but I got to have one thing that you're not going to know about, and I'm just going to roll out on the podcast. You surprise me by making me come on, I'm going to surprise you with something. So I don't know what's about to happen here, Jake, but she asked for the last 5 minutes of the show because she wants to like roll something out here and protect you. And I'm a little nervous that I've already signed something that I have no idea what it's going to be.
You have. And you have to do this now. All of you, everybody. But, enough about me, enough about the social media talk. It is March, which is one of the most important months for college sports, specifically college basketball.
Okay.
And I would love to introduce Protection United's first March Madness bracket.
Let's go.
I'm all about it.
I'm all about it too.
Hey, I'm with that.
I love me some basketball.
Okay, I was a little nervous at first.
No.
Okay.
You'll be good. You'll be good.
I like that. That's fun.
And you like to play basketball.
I do.
That's your realm.
Girl, that is my realm. I went to Hoop Sunday night. Jake missed the show.
Yeah.
Like, shout out to my dudes at Forest Gate, ballers. Hey, I put on a shooting clinic.
Saying, I know they take it serious,
bro,
with the Forest Gate ball.
Yes. Like,
so to show up and show out, that means something.
Bro, look, Eric, our leader, he's our guy. I think I was the player of the game. Eric hadn't announced it yet, or the night, I should say. We got cut short because of the rain here. I might have been 15 for 20.
Jeez.
From the floor, bro.
That's a big statement.
I mean, look, I'm going to clip this up. And I'm going to put it in our WhatsApp so that way they can see. Shout out to our guys. Ross was in the building. Ross and I, we get into it, but that's my dog. But Eric and I got to play together for the first time in years. And let's just say it's a reason that the guys don't like me and Eric running together. Just leave it at that. But yes, Avery, I'm excited. I love that. So that's going to be just all 16, 17 people that are here, whether it's full-time, part-time.
Everybody.
So everybody.
Yep.
All our guys.
Yep. And I encourage people watching as well. Make your bracket. Make your bracket. And we'll discuss here once it gets a little bit closer. But got a little competitive edge here. So we'll put in some brackets and we'll see. But yeah, I encourage everybody to do it. I think it's fun.
I'm glad I signed off on this.
Yeah.
This is great. We haven't done this, right? And we could have done it last year, but we didn't. This is our first year, and I think this is something that we're going to continue to do. I think Computer Jesus because we can run it through CBS Sports. That way we can show the standings, easy for everybody to fill their brackets out. It tracks and keeps score. Jake.
I like it.
I like Avery. I'm glad she's here.
Good call. Good call on the hire, Jay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're batting. I would say 1,000 as well. In terms of new hires and people brought on to Protection United. This has been a really rock solid crew that we've built here, both in terms of the ideas that they bring to the table, but the personalities as well, and the expertise and the know-how. It really creates that full service ecosystem that we've been talking about here at Protection United.
No, I agree. And Avery, in all seriousness, I mean, I knew. My dream was to run the business and negotiate deals, right? And that's all I wanted to do. And obviously, still be there for our clients, right? Meet with the parents and all that, because that's a part of the negotiation. But, I knew getting my PR guy here with Jake, getting director, player development, and Chase was going to be crucial, right? For the client facing, part, obviously having Madison, our amazing executive assistant to kind of help, bridge all those gaps and keep the chain links connected. But I knew that the social media part was going to be crucial, right? We've seen the success with a lot of our athletes, and having somebody that's here, and you live here in this area, so you know how needy, our guys are, and the expectation that comes with it. I will say, good thing about us Texans is that if we invest money, we're going to expect that return of that investment, and it's got to be where they can see somebody here. So I thank you so much for accepting this position. I'm excited. I'm ready to take you to lunch to go celebrate.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm pumped to be here with y'all.
We're about to go to my favorite place after the show. We're closing this thing out in like 45 seconds. Computer Jesus is going to get this uploaded, and then we're taking you to my spot on the curb. My new spot.
Oh, yeah. It's a good spot,
It's a great spot.
It's a great spot.
I'm ready to take her there. That way, and every time we bring somebody on, I think it's a new tradition.
That'll be the immediate welcome afterwards as we take you to On the Curb.
Yep.
I like it.
And,
like it.
and Avery maybe can get them to be a sponsor of the podcast. I've been working it, Avery. I got it teed up. I might need you to bring it home.
Okay.
Say it'll be a great spot to welcome in the newest members of the Protect You staff, newest members of the Protect You crew, the guests that we have in the studios, as well as a great place to catch March Madness as the first four does start this evening. I believe it's UMBC will be the first game as they take on Howard for the 16 spot, and then
then who?
And then UT and NC State.
I mean, Texas.
No, this is UT.
No, Jake, we're nationwide. So you say UT, a lot of people are going to think Tennessee. You got to say Texas.
I think people in the state of Texas are going to think UT. People in the South here are going to think UT.
But we're a nationwide agency, and we have people watching all over the nation. So you got to just say Texas in the play-in.
So Texas and Tennessee, then we will say when they get to their game.
Tennessee is in the tournament.
Yes, they are.
Texas has got to play into the
Which
tournament.
I'm going to be fully honest with you. I am amazed that we even made the play.
I understand.
I do.
Yeah, me too. I was like, wait, they lost to who?
Yeah.
Like Ole Miss. Ole Miss was like 8 games underneath 500.
Yeah.
Or 5 games maybe.
It was something along those lines. All I know is Oklahoma didn't make it.
Ooh, shout out to the Sooners.
All I know is Oklahoma didn't make it and Auburn didn't make it.
Okay. Well, what's your beef with Auburn?
We that doesn't need to be aired. We'll get into that later.
Not enough time.
I have some good friends that went to Auburn, but the way that they've been acting on socials and the way they've been acting in the media, trying to get into the tournament just doesn't jive with me. Doesn't jive with me. But they will be taking on Texas will be taking on NC State at 8:15. That'll be the first 2 games of the first 4. And then we got Prairie View A&M and Lehigh fighting for the 16 spot tomorrow. And then Miami of Ohio will be taking on the Mustangs of SMU. And then round 1 begins on Thursday. I'm excited. Very excited for that one.
Shining moment. Ready for it.
Jay, I don't want to get too deep into it. We can discuss who we pick for national championships next week once our brackets are set in stone.
We're going to show it.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to show everybody's Final Four.
We will get ready to go for that, folks. And we hope, once again, as Avery has invited all of y'all, be sure to shout out. What are y'all's picks? Who do you think will be taking home and cutting down the nets once this is all said and done? Be sure to let us know, not only in the comments section on X, but also here on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, be sure to click subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified every single time that we go live here on the Protection United YouTube channel. Once again, folks, that does it for this episode of the Protect You podcast. Thank you all so much for tuning in on this St. Patty's Day themed episode. This has been Jake Wilson, as always, alongside the man Jay Mickens. Avery Scamardo joining us in for a very special edition of today's show. Chase King is always breaking down our talented athletes, and our excellent producer, Justin Woods. We hope to catch you all on the next one.
Before we go out, want to give a shout out to Chad Green, Darlene Williams, Donna Coleman, Sade, Dominating Techniques, for commenting online and showing love to our players. We're showing up, show out.
Beautiful stuff. Computer Jesus always on top of it. Thank you all again so much for commenting, sharing, and liking these videos. It truly does mean the most.